G'day, I'm Scotty Tucker. In this video I just want to talk about how to release fish into your dam. So if you're wanting to stock fish, what you're typically going to end up with is buying fish from a farm or a supplier that's going to be sold to you in fingerlings, so very, very small fish. It's not common, in Australia at least, to be buying sort of plate-sized fish for stocking. Far more common to buy them in fingerling size. Now, when it comes to buying fish in that sort of size, and any size for that matter, you really need to think about how you're going to release them into the water, because what you don't want to do is shock the fish and give them either a massive dose of stress to the point of they cark it, or at a minimum they just don't really do very well and struggle and may set themselves up for disease or not a long life. So the main thing when it comes to the fish is to inspect them before you actually release them into the water. Make sure that they have arrived to you in good condition. If they haven't, you probably want to shoot a bit of a short video or take some photos and contact whoever it is that you bought them from to let them know, obviously, before you release them into the water. When you think about it, when you're releasing fish into the water, it's a completely different world. It's like dropping us on Mars and thinking that, okay, the oxygen's going to be the same and the temperature's going to be the same and the air conditions are going to be the same, when they're not. And it's the same with water. So when you get fish delivered, or you take them home if you pick them up yourself, you're either going to get them in a plastic bag which is being filled up with oxygen, or you're going to have a fish truck come around. In the case of larger sort of shipments, they're going to come in a large tank or an IBC to be released. Now, the water that they're coming in is going to be very different to the water that's in your dam. And one of the biggest things is going to be the temperature. So what you need to do is not just empty the bag and pour the fish out and let them go. What you want to do is acclimatise the fish. So from a temperature point of view, when it comes to the bags, what you'll do is you'll just sit those bags in the dam and you'll leave them floating around for a good 10-20 minutes. Ideally, if it is possible and you can open the bag up, roll it back a bit, let some of the water in after you've done that acclimatisation of the temperature, that will allow you to also acclimatise some of the different water chemistry parameters. Sometimes that can be difficult if the bag gets ripped or damaged or whatever, so the main one is the temperature. The icing on the cake is the rest of it. Then once you've reached that point, it's a case of just slowly tipping the bag out, and the fish will scatter and find their place and start cruising around in the dam. In the case of the larger sort of setup, and you're looking at the truck scenario, what you would do is you would pump some of the water from your dam into the truck and just do that slowly so that you're equalising both the temperature and the water chemistry slowly over a period of at least 20 minutes. The example that we're showing here is a recent project that I was with my good mate and mentor Bob Lusk, the pond boss, over in Texas on a 100-acre lake, releasing about 2,000 Florida genetic strain largemouth bass. In that situation, that's a fishery where there's a lot of other fish in the system, so we were being very strategic and mindful of where we were releasing those fish. We didn't release them all out in one spot. We released them in areas where there was lotus pads and different sorts of plants in different areas of the dam, so to give those fish the best chance of not getting hammered by predator fish all in one location and given some hide straight from the start. And that's not a bad idea with the plastic bag scenario as well, especially if you know you've got other predatory fish in there, or if you've got birds hanging around, just release the fish into an area where they're going to have some habitat and some protection straight away.